Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Limited Edition eyeshadow palette. I am going to be including this demo. So this is one of the looks that I did with this palette. I'm going to be incorporating more. I'm going to be looking down just because I have some notes in my phone of stuff that I want to go over so that way I don't forget anything. Huda Beauty, I have been following her for a while. She makes the eyelashes. She's also released liquid lipsticks. This is what it looks like. I love this packaging. So I've been meaning to buy this eyeshadow palette. I love Huda Beauty. I follow her on YouTube, Snapchat, all her social media. She's very inspirational to me. She is the first person that comes to mind when I think of inspiring people in the makeup world, people that I aspire one day to be in the makeup world. She's self-made. She has put a lot of effort into her makeup and her makeup line, and I just find that she's very genuine, and yeah, I really look up to her. So this palette for me was something that I had to absolutely get, just because, you know, one day I hope people buy my eyeshadow palette, you know, I mean, years from now, I hope one day to have my own makeup line. So, you know, this was like, I believe in a lot of like the power of positive thinking and affirmation. You know, I feel like if you put that out in the universe, it'll come back to you. So I bought this and I was like, oh my God, like I want to support her being self-made, just like I want somebody else to support me being self-made when I have my own makeup line. So yeah, just a little like, I mean, I don't want to get too personal, but she's just a huge inspiration to me. I did not purchase this palette myself. My boyfriend got it for me. I think he's gonna watch this video, so thank you. I love you. However, I have been watching reviews on it because, again, I was gonna purchase this myself. Now, this is a $65 palette right here. That's just considering that you live in the United States, or at least somewhere where there's a Sephora. You know, Sephora online, they have free shipping, and you can always go to the store, and of course there's no shipping for that. But if you do live somewhere that doesn't have a Sephora, you do have to add in the cost of shipping. There's 18 shadows right here. It comes with this sleeve, comes with the palette itself, and then this little like clear film. This is the palette, this is the packaging right here. I am going to link some reviews that I have watched on YouTube. I think the one I want to link is the one by Nicole. If you guys don't follow her, you should. She gives really in-depth tutorials. I'm going to go ahead and link her review down below. So this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. They are not vegan. They contain beeswax in them. I don't know if it's all the shadows or only some of them. I kept on Googling the reviews, not the reviews, but the ingredients online, and nothing really came up. I found out that they weren't vegan from, again, the Nicole review. So she has a lot of insight. So definitely go check out her review on this. It's very educational. They're not vegan. I don't live a vegan lifestyle, so I don't really mind that they're not vegan. And there are no cruelty-free claims. These were made in Italy, I believe Huda said on her Snapchat. They're made in Italy. On the sleeve itself, it doesn't say if they're cruelty-free. It does have the list of ingredients on here, as well as how long it'll last, which is 12 months, so a year. And on the back it says, apply gently around the eyes with a brush. Foiled textures deliver their maximum payoff when applied with fingertips. So that's what that says. Now, in terms of the actual eyeshadows themselves, packaging wise, I read a few like negative reviews about how it was plastic and it didn't feel like sturdy enough. There's a metal clasp right here, so it just sticks to it very gently. I don't mind the packaging, actually. If anything, I would not have purchased this if this was like glass, just because I drop everything and that's not gonna absorb any impact. The plastic will absorb better impact. I like that this right here is thicker, so if I drop it like this, it's not like the biggest deal in the world. I think if I drop it like this, it would be a huge deal, but if I drop it like this, it's not gonna like shatter everywhere. I like the fact that this is clear top. I don't have a palette like this. I've never had one that's like clear top. Hold on, I have a mascara flake. Okay. I've never had one that's like clear top. I like it. Just feel like it looks really sleek and cute. And then it says Huda Beauty right here. There's Dubai, Fling, 24K, Rose Gold, Trust Fund, Angelic, hashtag blessed, Bossy, Flamingo, Shy, Bay, Moondust, Black Truffle, Suede, Cocoa, Man-Eater, Henna, and Sandalwood. In this palette, there's 6 3D metal eyeshadows. So Dubai, Fling, 24K, Rose Gold, Trust Fund, and Hashtag Blessed are the metal eyeshadows. And the Chromatic Pressed Pearls eyeshadows are Angelic and Moondust. And then the 10 saturated matte eyeshadows are everything else. So this and this whole row. I don't know why they didn't just put this here, but I mean, I guess. But yeah, so this is what comes in here. In terms of the shade range itself, I think it's very versatile. Like for example, you have your neutrals. I like to, mostly whenever I do makeup on myself, I like to stick with the neutrals. I'm now venturing into like reds and pinks. Normally, I think if like you're a neutral person, like you just like to wear neutrals on your lid, they have, you know, henna, sandalwood, suede, cocoa, black truffle. That's your ideal, you know, neutrals. Sandalwood and henna, I find sometimes brown eyeshadows don't really work well with my skin tone because they can look a little bit too harsh. But I find that with these two colors, they're perfect. So if you are fair, these two shades are perfect. Suede as well. Suede is beautiful. However, the shade that really caught my eye was Man-Eater. When she swatched this on her Snapchat, I died. I was like, I need this. This color Man-Eater. I'm wearing it today on my eyelids mixed with I'll have the tutorial in this video, but I did use Man-Eater today and it is absolutely stunning. I love this palette. Now, in terms of workability of the palette, I have used this palette on other people as well as on myself. In terms of using it on other people, the shadows are very pigmented, they're very blendable, they're very easy to work with. There is a little bit of kickback when you dip your brush into the pigment. Sometimes a little bit of kickback will come back onto the palette and you'll kind of notice it because again, this is black. And you'll kind of notice it, but it's nothing, it's not a huge deal. In terms of the packaging itself, it's lightweight, so you can just carry this with you on the go if you're on your way to go do somebody's makeup or you're traveling or something. I think for working on other people, it's very versatile. So you have shades that you can create like a more toned down look versus one that you can create something like this, which is a bit more like, you know, out there and fun. Now, in terms of the textured eyeshadows, there was a lot of reviews that I read that were talking about how, you know, they don't really work with a brush. Myself, I keep my fingernails short. If I do grow out my nails, I don't like to grow them out so much where I can't really like, you know, use these eyeshadows or use any makeup with my finger, and I don't wear acrylics. So that for me, for using it on myself, the textured eyeshadows, having to use that with my finger is not the biggest deal. I do have large fingers, so the pads of my fingers are bigger. So sometimes it's a pain to get into the inner corner. In my tutorial, I'll show you, you know, how I do it, but I use this small packing brush just to put it on. And I find that with the color Fling, it's easier to put this on with a brush versus like the color Rose Gold. And again, I'm not sure if it's because of the different colors or if the formula is different between each shade. Colors like that, the Rose Gold, you definitely want to apply with your finger because I will put the Rose Gold color on a brush and it'll just take itself away, wiping it on my brush. The Rose Gold feels the waxiest of all of the textured eyeshadows. So when I did use this on somebody else and I was trying to use a brush with this, it was really difficult. It wasn't really working. So if you are a makeup artist or you just like to do makeup on other people, this palette can be kind of tricky. When I do makeup on other people, you know, there's people who aren't comfortable with you, you know, dipping your finger in eyeshadow and wiping it on their eye. Also, you have to take into consideration the size of your finger. You know, I have large fingers, so I can't get into the corner of my eye. I also don't want to make somebody uncomfortable when I'm doing their makeup. So that was like a con in terms of this palette. I think definitely on her next palette, should she create another one, which I think she probably will, I definitely think they should take that into consideration just to make, you know, a couple of textured eyeshadows, but make them so that way they're workable with a brush, because the Rose Gold and 24K are two that I cannot get to work with a brush at all. Synthetic, natural hair, nothing. I can't get it to work. I've worked on deeper skin tones as well as fair skin tones with this palette, and there's been a shade for everyone. I want to go into swatching them just because I feel like a lot of people have showed them. So the Dubai Fling, Trust Fund, and Angelic. You know, Trust Fund is a hit or miss though with brushes. So I find that if I put primer on the brush, I'll take like my Too Faced Shadow Insurance, like squirt a little bit on the back of my hand, put some of that, and then I'll go into the pigment and it'll be a little bit easier. But Dubai Fling, Angelic, and Hashtag Blessed, and Moon Dust, those are the easiest ones to apply with a brush. In terms of, is it worth it? I definitely think that the price is a major con. I do understand they are made in Italy. She is a small brand. They are, you know, expensive for her to make. So in that aspect, I do understand it. I just feel that, you know, for $65, it should include a brush. The Anastasia Beverly Hills ones, they're $40. And they include a brush. So I think a brush should have been included. Granted, you can only use these with your fingers, or they recommend to use them with your fingers, but a brush wouldn't hurt. I do think it's a very pretty palette. I definitely think that if you like to do makeup on other people and you're just getting started, this palette is good. Because you can go from a very just toned down, diffused look to a very like glam look, to very smoky, very simple everyday sort of thing, to like something like this which is like more on the glam side. So I do think it's very easy to go from day to night with this palette. It's easy to carry in your purse, all of that. So I think in terms of the palette itself, it is very worth it. However, is it a must? I don't think so. This is my first high-end eyeshadow palette, so you know, I'm very excited about it. I do like it very much. I am going to be using it a lot. But I think that for the 65, I expected a little bit more from it. It is very pretty though, which is one thing I will give her. And she did work very hard on this. I just think that for the 65, you know, a brush wouldn't hurt. And if the formulation of the textured eyeshadows were just a little bit easier with a brush, just because, you know, not everyone likes to use their fingers. Even like dense brushes, you know, some of them, it'll work on some of them, but not on others. Like the formulas are inconsistent in some of the eyeshadows. But I think it's a beautiful palette. I don't think you're going to be at a loss if you buy it. It's not, you know, it's not like if you buy it, it's a complete waste of money and you hate it. It's actually very beautiful. It's worth the 65. I just think there's like a few little tweaks that could have been made, but I definitely think this is a palette I'm going to be reaching for a lot, especially with the textured eyeshadows, just because I like these kind of looks. I like halo eyes. I like, you know, shimmers and glam looks. So I think with the textured eyeshadows, I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of those. But this is a very, like, you know, for yourself palette, if that makes sense. I don't see myself using this a lot on other people. And if I do, I'll stick to the matte shades. But I think the textured eyeshadows, with having to put your finger there and with, you know, I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I don't want to be unsanitary. So I don't think the textured eyeshadows are going to be for when I do makeup on other people. But on myself, of course, because, you know, it's my own fingers. It's my own thing. So I'll be comfortable with that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review that I have. I'll go ahead and everything is going to be in the description box for this look. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. So I've already done the rest of my makeup except for highlight and lip, but in terms of setting my face and everything, I've already done that just to save some time. I'm gonna go ahead and take some translucent powder. I have this mini beauty blender, and I'm going to place this from the corner of my eye upward to the end of my brow. So I'm just taking this out of the sleeve, and I'm gonna go ahead and take out this plastic. So this is the Huda Beauty palette. I'm gonna go in with this shade first, called Bay. And I'm just gonna take my Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. I set my eyelids with translucent powder, but for the sake of this tutorial, I just wanted to show, you know, all of the colors. However, I do recommend, I think you should set your eyelid with the translucent powder and then go over with like a any eyeshadow that is the same color as your eyelid, like the same skin color as you. I'm going all over my lid. And I just think that helps with the blendability of all your eyeshadows. There's a little bit of pickup with these shadows. I personally don't mind, but if you do, then just be aware. I'm gonna take this color right here, Sandalwood, and this is like a perfect neutral transition color. I'm just putting this in my crease. I did prime my eyelids as well with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. If you don't have that, you can also use concealer. I use primer and concealer just because I was feeling bougie, but I normally just use concealer to prime my eyelids. I just used this primer today. Just because there's really no, I don't really see the hype with eyeshadow primers. I think if you have a concealer and you set it on your eyelid, it's the same thing. I'm gonna go in with the color Shy. I'm taking the same brush and I'm just gonna put this a little bit below Sandalwood. I'm gonna dip into Shy and I'm gonna focus this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of Man-Eater, and I'm gonna be showcasing this palette more often. This is just like a look I feel like doing today. I'm just putting this on my diffuser brush, but I will be using this palette more often. What I'm gonna do, the brown is up here. I'm gonna put it when I open my eye, right here, that line. Windshield wiper motions. Now if you have hooded eyes, I have small eyelids, but I don't have hooded eyes. I would recommend going higher, like create your own crease. In my Selena makeup tutorial, the person I worked on, she has hooded eyelids. So what I do whenever I do her makeup is I create a crease for her. Let me know below if you guys want like a tutorial on hooded eyes. I'm gonna go in with that same Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. There's no extra shadow on here. This is just to like blend everything together. I actually want to go in with the Opal One palette, and I'm gonna take the color Bossy, and I'm just gonna diffuse this through the crease. I'm just gonna go in with like windshield wiper motion. And I like to go in with Sandalwood first, just because it gives a little bit of warmth to the eye. And again, it just helps everything blend easier together. It's much easier to blend and build color than put like a dark color on your lid and then try to blend it out, because a lot of times it just looks chunky. It's easier to just layer colors and blend it out as you go, and that'll help you get a better result. Going with Man-Eater again. And again, I'm just, when I open my eye, that line. I'm not putting any of my eyelid. I'm going to take a little bit of Cocoa. I didn't really show that well. Cocoa. Or actually, I'm just going to dip into that diffuser brush and go in with the color Cocoa. And I'm just going to, right here. Just right below my brow bone. And that's going to give depth and definition. Now, I like to go like this. I like to just, and kind of just move my brush away from my face as I go. Just so I have better perspective. I have this small packing brush. I'm going to dip into the color Fling. Now as you can see, the color is there. Not that it doesn't apply. But when you go like this, and you try to sweep the color, it almost kind of takes it away. So when you dip in with your finger, I'm just going to take this. My nails look like shit, just so you guys know. And you can definitely see the difference. Let me go in with my pinky, just the smaller finger, and I'm just putting this on the pads of my finger, on the pad of my finger. And with Man-Eater, I'm gonna go in, and I'm putting this just right above that shade, the Fling shade.
This is so beautiful.
I'll take the color Cocoa and Bossy, mix the two together, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to take the Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush and just go like so. Same on this eye. This one's a little bit more difficult because I'm working with my left eye. I use my right hand, but we will work around it. Now, if you have big fingers like me, I have fat fingers, so the pads of my fingers are larger. This can be kind of a pain in the ass to really get into like the corners of your eye. And then that's when I just like to take this brush. And it gets the pigment on there. Like, you know, it's not like nothing comes on there. It's just not as pigmented. But as you can see, I just applied this with a brush. And the pigment does come off. It's just not that metallic-y, like, wow pigment. I want to do a halo eye, so I'm going to take the color. I think I'm going to take the color Rose Gold. I mean, it is the Rose Gold Edition palette. I'm going to take my pointer finger, and I'm just going to stick this in the middle. Just like that. And that is stunning. I'm gonna take a little bit more cocoa. And then I actually want to do like a little inner corner highlight. Hello? I'm filming. What happened? Huh? Okay. Why you so bad? I don't have an attitude. I'm filming right now. No, I don't. I'm filming right now. I do want to talk to you. I'm on camera right now. Oh, shit. What? You know what? I'm gonna leave this in the video so everyone can know that how much of a pain in the ass you are. Man, you gonna tell me this shit. No, I'm gonna leave this whole conversation up so everyone can hear how much of a pain in my ass you are. Okay. You better tell me my makeup looks nice, since you interrupted it. Alright. Alright. I love you. Bye. Alright guys, that was my boyfriend. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe away like that little extra bit of bakage I have. I'm actually gonna go over with the color Angelic. And I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna put this right over the very center. I'm just patting this on top. For my brow bone, I'm gonna take this brush, my Okalon brush. I'm gonna go in with the color Moon Dust. And I kind of wanted to go in with a matte brow bone because I'm going with like a shimmery eyeshadow, but it's not extra enough for me, so. And then I'm gonna take the color Man Eater. And then I'm gonna take the color Shy. And yeah, that's the final look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you.